Hello everyone, this is Damla Aktekin with A Drop of Om. I am connecting with you live today, and I want to talk about why your needs matter. We all have needs, whether we're aware of it or not, and your needs matter. But before I get to that, I want to tell you my story of getting in touch with my needs and finding my way into working with them, being with them, and recognizing, naming, prioritizing, and satisfying my needs with or without help. So, and I want to tell the story with you keeping in mind that this was a turning point in my life. You might have had a different turning point. Usually our needs come up to the surface all together or more loudly in times of change, evolution, loss, trauma, and anytime we are going through a cyclical point in our lives, like from not being a mother to being a mother, having your moon cycle to moving through perimenopause and menopause. So those are all cyclical or seasonal turning points in our lives, or having lived in your parents' house to going out on your own. So in those times of cyclical change or moving from one phase of your life to the other, we have a lot of our needs come up to the surface. So for me, this happened in 2012. I became a mom to a beautiful girl, and so the having that part of light or that kind of light coming into my life was a wonderful and beautiful process, and I'm so thankful and grateful for it. But what I experienced was physically, I lost in touch with myself. And emotionally, I was going deeper and deeper and deeper into a well of darkness, is the only way that I can put it. So soon after giving birth, I sort of found myself going deeper and deeper and deeper into this well of darkness where all of my emotions and all of my wounds and all of my needs were coming up to the surface. And it was a very, very tough time for me. Not only because I hadn't thought of my needs up until that point as things that had layers or things that were that might have been living in me continuously. I assumed that I would eat, sleep, work in between and then repeat again and be all right. I didn't realize that I was a more complex being than that. And not only that, I didn't have a concept of prioritizing my needs. What do I mean by that? I mean, I wasn't aware of the threats that were going on in my life, how I reacted, what my patterns were in times of stress. So in return, I didn't have a clear plan of, okay, like this need of being me with myself a certain amount of day is essential, or this need of getting myself out of the house, seeing other people is essential. So I didn't have a sense of what my essential needs were, nor did I have an understanding of the ecology of my needs. So one thing I quickly realized is that no amount of sleep, no amount of drinking green juices was gonna help me get better or find myself or help me climb out of that deep well of darkness that I found myself in. So I began to look deeper into the darkness that I found myself in. And yes, in that darkness were the needs of the moment. I wasn't sleeping. I had like below zero time to take care of my like basic physical needs. Yes, they were there. The needs of the moment were there. But beyond that, I began to notice the needs of my inner children coming up. So the needs of the 2-year-old in me who wasn't heard, seen, understood, and loved as she needed to be loved. The needs of the teenager in me who didn't get to express herself creatively as she needed to. And I began to notice and see the needs of my ancestors coming up to the surface. So all of those patterns that lived through generation and generation of dealing with stress, dealing with trauma, dealing with cyclical challenges and life evolution, life changes. So all of them were present in my darkness, in my moment of all my needs talking to me. So my decision was, I am going to be here for this, no matter how long it takes for me to feel, heal, and understand this. And that decision was crucial because I didn't blame anybody else. I didn't ask someone to see and understand my entire beingness, which is not possible. But I said, okay, all of this is here, and for whatever reason, and in whatever way they showed up here, they are here and they're mine. I'm taking full responsibility for all of my needs, including all of the vibrational needs that live in me and through me. I'm going to find ways to heal and be with them. And that began my journey into vibrational healing, learning different tools, working with crystals, working with tuning forks, starting to work with EFT tapping and emotional freedom techniques. So trying things out and figuring out and distilling what worked and what didn't work. And I began to work with individuals. And in seeing individuals, I realized that they too have unmet needs. Some of their needs were louder than the others. Some of them were more suppressed. So we needed to dig in and find them out and figure them out. But no matter for what reason they came to see me, whether it was a third chakra issue of powerlessness, whether it was a fifth chakra issue of not expressing their needs properly, or when they expressed their needs not being understood properly, for whatever pattern they were dealing with, I began to see the common thread being unmet needs. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean that, at any given point in your life, it's possible to meet all of your needs all the time. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is that there are certain threads that run in you beyond your physical needs, beyond the things that you can take physical action to satisfy, like being hungry and eating, like needing to exercise and running. You have needs that you haven't even put into words yet. And because you are a vibrational, you're not being, you're not just a 3D person, just flesh and blood. You are an electromagnetic, multidimensional probability field. All of these needs, all of the records of these needs that haven't been met from generation to generation through your ancestors, from, if you believe in that, from lifetime to lifetime, and within this lifetime, all of those needs exist in your energy bubble, in your blood, in your DNA, here in the now. So when you look at yourself as not just being a three-dimensional being, you begin to realize that there is more to satisfying your needs than just drinking water or just going to your yoga class, which is why I started to work on, bringing people ways of dealing with their needs. Here's the other thing that I found. So I found in all of my clients, including myself, this includes my group work, this includes my one-on-one work, had unmet needs, and some of them deeper than others. And then I also found that you get to be with these needs, you get to answer them, and through that, you prepare yourself for deeper healing. What do I mean by that? So I also talk about what I call energetic wounds. Energetic wounds are anything that exists in your energy field as a vibrational pattern that is in hindrance to your natural aligned beingness, that prevents you from being the love that you are, being the flow that you are. So all of those exist in your field. Those are usually coming from, again, it could be intergenerational trauma. It could be the trauma of this lifetime or others. Regardless of that, we have these patterns in us that prevent us from living our full life. So I found that if I give you the analogy of if you're someone who lives on the street, you don't have your basic needs met, you don't have food, safety and security, and you haven't quite figured out a way to find a way to tend to yourself yet. Or let's say that you seemingly have those things. So you seemingly have resources, you seemingly have, a good life, but I often have people come to me and they tell me, okay, Damla, I want to work on this particular wound. I want to work on this particular pattern. And I'm like, we can't, because we need to calm down your nervous system first. And you need to begin to tend to the layers of your needs by yourself first, so that when you come to me with a stable container, then I can open up the wounds with you and look at them and sort of untangle them and unfold them. We can do the co-creational work of evolution together. But until you take the steps to tend to your own needs, it's not going to be possible for us to go deeper than, okay, like today you're all over the place, let's just calm you down for a bit, right? But then the next time you come to me, we can be like, if you have tended to yourself, if you have taken the time to pay attention to your needs, we can get from here to here quicker, and then we can dive deeper and deeper and deeper into layers of healing. So all of these reasons, and the particular reason that I needed tools as I was going through my big, huge awakening event of becoming a mother, the gift of being given all of my ancestral wounds, all of my inner children's wounds, and all of my wounds from this lifetime and others coming up to the surface, that beautiful chaos. I would have loved to have tools that were readily available for me to begin to tend to myself, begin to care for myself. Which is why I created an online course called Tending to Your Needs. This to me is the basic thing that you can do to begin to prepare for healing your wounds. Begin to establish that relationship with yourself. Okay, begin to open up the pathways in you that will allow you to exist and embody deeper levels of aliveness, resourcefulness, and living a beautiful life. So the layers of your needs keep coming up in your life in different ways. They come up as stuckness in your body. They come up as numbness, pain. They come up as certain emotions bursting out or imploding in. So all of these tell me that you need to take better care of yourself. And you need to begin to take the steps to tend to and listen to the inner children, tend to and listen to the ancestral needs, and begin to invoke in you the pathways of okayness, going against the resistance and opening up the pathways and moving through resistance so you can be more alive and present here. So the Tending to Your Needs online course is all about giving you tools to do this in your own time, in your own presence. What do I mean by that? So when you're in realization of having needs, it's very hard to jump from, I have needs to taking action. So I want to help you work with the resistance to that. Because most of us know that we have needs, but we don't know how to begin and start to tend to them, how to even prioritize your needs. Okay? And there are some needs that can be met by doing. There are some needs that can be met by not doing, or making better boundaries, or creating more structures that allow you to pay attention to yourself more. So no matter what you do, it's that decision of saying, okay, here is all of my vibrational reality. I have some wounds, and together with those wounds, I have all of these needs coming up. I'm gonna make the decision to take care of my needs. And in this course, I'm giving you 8 different meditations. I'm giving you an emotional freedom, a brief introduction to emotional freedom technique, which in itself is invaluable. And through tapping on the acupressure points and the meridian points, you'll be able to go through all of these patterns and release the resistance. Release the resistance to care for yourself. I want to touch on one more small thing, which is we often mistake tending to your needs with self-care. And self-care is this word that's thrown in the air, self-care, and then some of us feel like, okay, self-care, is it selfishness, is it not? So to me, yes, self-care can be part of tending to your needs, but you gotta understand that self-care is, in our minds, usually something optional, right? Going to a massage every week would be nice, but it's optional. It's like an added expense. Or going for a walk every day doesn't feel like something you need to do because it's optional. But when we talk about your needs, your core needs especially are tied to your core wounds. What do I mean by that? Meaning that in order to begin to heal, in order to survive and to thrive, you need to be able to have a basic understanding of what your core needs are and have a plan for meeting them, with or without help. Because the definition of the need is a physiological or a psychological requirement, so it's not optional for you to survive and to thrive. So what that means is that, and I would add to that a psychological, physiological, or a vibrational need. A vibrational need that has lived through generations and generations and continues to live through you. It's a requirement for you to begin to address your wounds. It's a requirement for you to survive and exist in a body that feels it's been cared for. It's a requirement for you to begin to thrive, begin to go beyond what you think you need to exist in this world and begin to open up for more joy, for more beauty, for more life. So I'm going to leave this by saying, I want to ask you this question, like, have you checked in with your needs today? Have you said, why do I, and you might say, why do I need to check in with my needs? Like I said, it's a requirement, because unless you make that connection and decision to say, I'm responsible for my needs. It's not my husband, it's not my children, it's not my parents, it's not my neighbors, friends. I am the one responsible to recognize and name. And by the way, if you need help with this, help is always available, right? You can reach out for help, but you need to be the starting point, saying, I am responsible. And what do you need today? What do you need that you haven't tended to today? And what can you do to make time to reach for those connections within yourself, to say, I'm here for you. I'm going to listen to my inner child. I want to listen to my ancestors. I want to make contact with my vibrational reality, and I want to go from there. And why does this matter? Why do your needs matter? Because tending to your needs is the first step in healing your energetic wounds. Secondly, it's, no matter what you do or say, people are affected by your vibration. I'm going to say that again. No matter what you do or say, people are affected by your vibration. So when you begin to tend to your vibration, take responsibility for your vibration and your vibrational needs as well as other needs, you are creating a different way of existing. And you're not only benefiting the organism that you are, because you're connected vibrationally with all beings. And first and foremost, your friends and family, of course. You'll begin to change your interactions with people, and people will begin to get informed by your nervous system. They're going to get informed by your beingness. They're going to look at you and say, I don't know what she's doing. I want some of that. Give me some of that, please. So it's in your hands to create a beautiful life. And I hope that Tending to Your Needs, the online course, it's a self-study course. You can download all of the 8 different meditations that you can have with you at all times. You can work through the course at your own pace. And the course is designed to give you an understanding, the basic foundation to know and begin to work with the ecology of your needs. How do needs come up? How do they show up in your body? How can you take steps to not only attend to your physical needs, but begin to attend to your vibrational needs of the inner children, the ancestors, and all of those beautiful places in you? How can you connect with them? All of the beautiful places in you, all of the inner children in you, all of the ancestors in you who are waiting and longing to be with you. So the online course is available for you to purchase between now and February 20th. And it's at a one-time only special pricing. It will not be this pricing again. It's actually 3-4 times more valuable than what I'm pricing it. So please take a look. Let me know if your comments, let me know if your questions. And again, if at any point you find yourself overwhelmed with having needs, I want you to tune in and say to yourself, and I have a specific meditation for this called the Quick Daily Check-in Meditation that you can download for free today. And the whole purpose is that, yes, there will be moments that you cannot prioritize your needs, right? There will be the needs of your children, the needs of your work, the needs of your partners, whatever have you. But even in those moments, can you take 10 minutes? This is a 10-minute meditation. Can you take 10 minutes out of your life and place one hand on your heart, and can you say to yourself, my needs matter? And it may not be right here and right now, but I'm taking the responsibility to be with them, to name them, and to begin to tend to them as best as I can. And that's all we can do. We begin to tend to our needs as best as we can. And I truly believe that this course will give you all the tools you need to deepen that connection with yourself and start to work on those healing pathways in you that allow you to have a deeper and more beautiful and open flow existence. So thank you so much. If you had a chance to watch this, please leave a comment, and I hope that you take a moment today to ask yourself, what do I need? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And keep the mantra that in mind that your needs matter. My needs matter, and that's going to make the most difference in your vibrational healing and in your vibrational existence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.